this is a little bit of a departure from talking about fully loaded 99, but I just want to bring something up here just as a reminder. I guess, gosh, 6-7 weeks ago, you and I had a conversation on this show that, boy, stirred up a lot of people about the hypothetical idea of what if Shane McMahon were to do something with AEW. And a lot of people were dunking on you and I on social media about the absurdity of that and that it would never happen. And our stance was always, hey, never say never. It's pro wrestling. And the following week, after we got dunked on, I said, hey, I have it on pretty good authority that Shane at least has friends who used to work in WWE and now work in AEW, and they've had the hypothetical conversation. And man, people just took all kinds of shots at you and I. I'd just like for everyone to take a look at what's broken since we've recorded last week. That's Shane McMahon on the left, and that's Tony Khan on the right. So I don't know. Doesn't look like they're out to dinner to me. But
where did that come from? I haven't seen that.
Well, it's breaking news this morning, JR, that they had a meeting this week, and clearly it's out and it's leaked, and we don't know what this means. What is Shane McMahon doing in the Impact Zone? Hell, who knows? But the point is, when everybody had their pitchforks out for you and I 2 months ago, it's like, never say never in wrestling is really the adage always, isn't it, Jim?
Absolutely. And if Shane could help us, help AEW, meaning us, then Tony would hire him and Shane would accept the offer. I don't know where that is. And I had never seen that picture. That's surprising. That's it's pretty cool, actually. And Tony in his traditional bottle of water, high dollar water. Well, that's pretty cool. Shane is he could add a lot. He could do some physical things within reason. He has great name identity. People know who he is. You have to stop and explain. Oh, now this is Vince McMahon's son. This is Stephanie McMahon's brother. This is Linda McMahon's son. All that stuff goes without saying. But if Tony's an entrepreneur, and if he thought that Shane could help us in AEW, and if Shane thought he could have some fun, make a couple of paydays, I'm sure Shane is not in need of significant cash influx. But he wants to have fun and contribute. Look, the wrestling business is in Shane's blood. Where else does he go if he wants to stay in that vocation? Where else does he go? And so I'm a Shane McMahon fan. I like him. I've known him since he was in high school. He's full of piss and vinegar always, to the point of being almost humorous at times. But he's smart. And again, the audience, our target audience, knows who the hell he is, and he's got a good reputation. He's not coming there, or if he does come there to work for Tony and AEW, then where else does he go if he wants to stay in the pro wrestling business? And I think he could help us in a lot of ways, strategically, as a TV character, obviously the main thing. So we'll just have to wait and see how that works out. I don't have any outstanding hope or any inside info that he's the guy, but he might be a new addition at some point in time. And if so, between both their creative abilities, it would be entertaining.
There's no doubt it could be entertaining. I just think it's fun that, there's a lot of armchair quarterbacks out there and on the internet. And man, if you've watched all this closely long enough, things you thought would never happen. Eric Bischoff walking out on the stage of Monday Night Raw and hugging Vince McMahon didn't have that on a bingo card ever. And so many other examples we could cite. Just never say never. Let's talk about Vince, though, because back in 1999, on the 4th of July, he had a motorcycle accident. He cracked his tailbone in Greenwich, Connecticut. And of course, it happened in his hometown there. That's where he lives, is Greenwich. But as he's coming around a corner, he's hit by a driver who's backing his car out of the driveway. And when he hits Vince breaks his tailbone. But Vince, he's back producing Raw the very next day. and he's in the office the day after that. Do you remember this motorcycle accident? How big of a deal was this for Vince?
Well, it scared the hell out of all of us because you don't want to lose your leader.
Right.
And he's probably dodged a bullet there. I've had some tailbone issues. There, you can't get comfortable. You hurt all the time. But he manned up. He led the troops into battle, and he did it on a regular basis. So we were lucky that he didn't have to get hospitalized for an extended length of time. But luckily, that was not the case. But it was kind of scary, to be honest with you, for a while, because he managed the company so much on his own. He had so much. He had the ability and the expertise and the desire to be involved in everything. And to lose someone of that magnitude would have been very, very tough at that point in time.
Let's talk a little bit about Jesse Ventura. We just talk about this for timing. Jesse Ventura backstage at Monday Night Raw this past Monday.
Yeah.
But way back when, 25 years ago, is maybe the first time that we saw Jesse pop back up. It's announced that he's going to be a part of SummerSlam 99 as the special guest referee. Now, the photo you're seeing right now on our YouTube channel is a photo of Jesse doing his legislative work. We know that once upon a time he was a mayor, and at this point, he's the doggone governor of Minnesota. So if we've got this big SummerSlam event at the Target Center in Minneapolis, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we could figure out a way to capitalize off some of that mainstream attention of a former pro wrestler now becoming the governor? But we know that, boy, once upon a time, Vince and Jesse were oil and water. What do you remember about this opportunity to bring Jesse back into the fold in 1999?
It's controversial, to say the least, Connie. Jesse had a lawsuit against WWE that infuriated Vince, and over time it just lessened. It's funny how time can heal a lot of wounds, and it did on this occasion. I saw those pictures last week of Jesse at WWF event in St. Paul, as you mentioned. They had a full house. They did real well, and he looked like he was casual, blue jeans and a ball cap, so to speak. And I felt good about that. It kind of reasserted itself as that anything can happen. That's what people say. Well, Shane McMahon will never go to AEW. Well, how do you know that? Why would you think that? I mean, seriously. So it made me feel good, to be honest with you, Conrad. I thought it was nice. Jesse was happy. He and I are the same age. He's quite the character. I saw where he was going to be doing more appearances and things of that nature, which I think is cool. So all good, man. It was all good. I like to see reconciliations. I like to see peace in the valley, shall we say.
Yes, absolutely.